Bitcoin on the daily chart, nice green candle playing out right now. Powerful looking move happening on Bitcoin. In this video, we're going to really zoom in on this, and I'm going to explain why, as of right now, as I'm doing this video, it means absolutely nothing. But I'm going to discuss also what Bitcoin needs to do for it to mean something. So definitely, I think some key zoomed in data that we need to pay attention to right now, especially over the next couple of days. Before we do that, I want to zoom out on something, on-chain metrics as it relates to this cycle and content that I did back in March, something that I think I might have been wrong about. So I'm kind of excited to do that. So please hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. Let's jump into this video. I did this post back in March 2024. So this wasn't that long ago, but it was, 6-7 months ago or so. And I was basically doing this video about the supply last active 1+ years ago. This was a post done by On-Chain College, the long-term holder patterns. So what he was basically just observing was, we can see that this metric increased during bear markets. So just to explain this very briefly, you see this blue line pointing up? That's the supply last active 1+ years ago. And when it's going up, you can just see Bitcoin price in white falling, right? That's kind of historically what has happened. So therefore, at the time that he posted this back in March, you can see the supply last active 1+ years ago starting to fall. That's some bullishness right there. And you can see Bitcoin price actually starting to go up. So one thing that he said in this post back in March, and then we're going to look at the clip of me being wrong about something. He said, this one caveat still gives me pause on whether this is the parabolic bull run or if this is a move similar to 2019 post-bear market, where price will then chop for a year or so before the big parabolic run. Props to On-Chain College for actually mentioning this and leaving this as an available option, because if you look at this now, and this is what we're going to do, we're going to look at this and I'm going to show you that clip of me being wrong, because I really think there's a strong potential I was wrong with what I said. Now, if we go to a current time supply last active 1 year ago chart, you can see the blue. That's that supply last active metric. And there it is. There's it. There, it's falling there, right? January, February, March, which is around when he posted that data. And then it's just been sideways and choppy since then. But if you go look back here, this 2019 move is the move that he was talking about. Is the current consolidation, this current downtrend on the last active 1 year ago, is it similar to like a bull market top area, or is it similar, this is the question he was posing, to this 2019 consolidation, in which case you can see Bitcoin price choppy for like a year. Now, what he's saying here is very in line with most recently, I think, what a lot of people are looking at. And that is, if you go to a Bitcoin chart zoomed out, there's starting to be a lot of data that's showing the move that we're in now. Yeah, from a cycle perspective, time frame perspective, I should say, we're kind of like right here. But from a structure perspective and the way the market's moving, it kind of is like back in 2019, exactly what On-Chain College was saying, right? So let me look at this clip. This was me going over that data back then. Notice where Bitcoin price is, around $70,000, around close to $71,000, and we have had no consolidation to the downside, which is where we are now. But listen to what I said real quick. We definitely are a little early this cycle, but we are in this general area, right? We're not in basically this area. And this area back here is more similar from a cycle perspective to this area back here. Now, I'm using one data point in what I said here. From a cycle perspective, we're not so much, this was back in March, by the way, so we're looking like right around here. And from a cycle perspective, we're really closer to halving. We're not so much in like this area, right? Between halvings, or this area, which is at 2019, right before that consolidation that On-Chain College was talking about. And I was using one simple data point. That is the timeline data of where we are in the cycles to say that. I'm at least happy with the next thing that I said, because it's insane how much it applies to the current chart and this consolidation here. So check out what happens next in this clip. And I really wanted to break that down. I could be wrong. Maybe it is going to be something like this, and then there's consolidation. If we can even look at what that looks like. Swing low back here, take it all the way over to the actual bull market, And then boom, something like this is what he's saying. Man, could it be something like this? Is crazy because we're like in all-time high territory when I'm doing that video. And we know the pain that we just went through in the last 6-7 months or so. But look at that. This is exactly what happened. That consolidation is so similar to this consolidation back here. And so when we go look at a chart like this, it is very much starting to look like what On-Chain College says. And he was saying the one caveat gives me pause on whether this is the parabolic bull run or if it's similar to 2019 post bear market. And there's a lot of data besides just this on-chain metrics data that is really starting to reflect this does look a lot similar to the 2019 consolidation. And if that's the case, we've talked a lot about the super cycle, how much longer this bull market could be, because we've had this interesting consolidation post halving, and things are just a little different, right? Bitcoin breaking all-time high before the Bitcoin halving for the first time. Bitcoin breaking bull market door data that I track before the Bitcoin halving. That's never happened. So a lot of things happening differently that this time compared to previous cycles. And I think that's a really, really bullish thing, not only for Bitcoin, but for crypto as well. I put this chart out there. This is on the monthly total crypto market cap because I just saw this post. Altcoin's second phase, mega bull phase, has always been epic. Altcoin will explode in turn, and you can just see kind of this repetitive setup. This is excluding BTC and ETH, but if you go look at total crypto market cap where BTC and ETH are there, I kind of tried to reflect the setup that he put. It's just very much in play, but it does give a sense of these two different times of the cycle, right? In one sense, it's like, yeah, typical post Bitcoin halving consolidation right here, typical post halving consolidation, but at the same time, the length of the consolidation and what's happening here, the setup, the structure of it is so similar to this 2019 consolidation. So really weird data, but I think no matter how you spin it, incredibly bullish. Now, On-Chain College, he was saying, chop for a year or so. Now, think about this. I think it's around 6 to 7 months or so since March, right? And if this is the case, and he's saying for a year or so, we're getting there, right? And if we have, say, 3 months more of maybe even consolidation because of all the recession talk, that data that we talked about, the data that we've been talking about. Historically, since 1957, for instance, markets bottom 3 months after the recession starts. That gives us a few more months, and this could truly play into this kind of super cycle talk, right? And it really plays into even the on-chain metrics data that we just looked at. So I wanted to give an update on that because I really think it's interesting how the cycle is coming together. There's new data constantly coming out across the board. It's like so much to cover. But interestingly enough, this is something we covered before not that long ago. And now I just want to do a little update on it. But let's zoom in on the Bitcoin charts. Before we do, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, iTrustCapital. We're doing a lot of macro content on this YouTube channel. So if you're a macro-minded crypto investor, I say it time and time again, this product and the crypto IRA product by iTrustCapital is something to, at the very least, think about and explore. Buy and sell crypto, gold, and silver with your IRA. So many tax advantages, everybody. But they eliminate the inefficiencies and outdated process of the previous IRA models. And just look at this, $0 a month for personal accounts. There's a 1% buy and sell. And the way that I think about this is if you're zoomed out on a Bitcoin chart, or if we go to a Bitcoin dominance chart, for instance, and you're somebody that's trading macro cycles from altcoins to Bitcoin, right? And right now, if we're about to have an altcoin season, which historically has happened, let's just say it happens. I talk about this a lot. Trading this play on the macro with a product like iTrust, and this isn't financial advice at all, but this is one of the most powerful ways I see this product could be so beneficial. So check out iTrustCapital. Thanks, iTrust, for sponsoring Crypto Capital Venture. Love you guys. It's incredibly easy. Just click open account. I'll put a link below, CCV link. This is the form to create the account, get set up, look into what they offer and the advantages thereof, and let's cruise over to the short term. This is Bitcoin on the daily. I mentioned it's a nice looking daily candle, but it means nothing. And let's take a quick clip from yesterday's video very briefly. So we start moving. Tomorrow we're at 56. We're breaking 57. There's probably going to be nice tweets. It's going to look really good. A lot of nice bullish posts, but it still means nothing. We absolutely have to make the move to at least get to the 20. and it means nothing. So we got the move. It was 55 yesterday. We broke 57. We were cruising up towards 58. I don't even know. Did it wick above 58? I must have missed it. It looked like it might have wicked above 58. The move happened, right? But again, this means nothing in terms of what we're really waiting for. What we're really waiting for, if we could just go back to like kind of the last, this is a very different type of structure, but the last kind of consolidation where we were waiting for some good time, where Bitcoin's falling below moving averages and has to break back above. It's the same exact thing, time and time again. You zoom out on all of the cycles of Bitcoin on the daily chart. You can find these setups everywhere. We're in a really long one right now. That is to say, these moving averages, you can see just kind of tangling together, and just there's an incredible tug of war between the bulls and the bears, and Bitcoin needs to break above the 20 and the 50 and higher highs and higher lows above both of those, the green and the blue line. Oddly enough, this consolidation has lasted so long. Now the 200's in play. The 200 made its way. The slow turtle made its way into the moving average area, and you can just see that alone is $64,000. But that first hurdle, once again, is up here right around $59,000. So it's nice to see we're wicking right below that area. But let me tell you, right now, we have presidential debates going on. Speculation with that tomorrow, Wednesday. Probably even bigger in terms of potentially moving this market one way or the other is CPI data, right? There's going to be a ton of speculation and guesses about what the Fed is going to do on September 18th, how much they're going to lower rates based on Wednesday's data. A ton of headlines are going to be coming out. I don't know how that's going to move markets, but what I do know is it's all happening while Bitcoin is contesting with these moving averages in this entire range of resistance. It's the 20 at 59,000, the 50-day moving average 60,000, the 200-day moving average around 60, right below 64,000. So Bitcoin, as you can see, whether it's today, tomorrow, Wednesday, could see insane resistance at just this area, the 20 and the 50. This could just be a lower high for Bitcoin, and we actually go lower, and before you know it, it could be mid-September, end of September, and we're testing this lower trend line, if not breaking below the trend line again, because things are so bearish. The recession is here. You're going to see those headlines. But if that's the case, I truly think I think the worst is over. There could absolutely be more downside, but this will be it, I think. I think this will be a capitulation type of event, leading to a capitulation event in the coming weeks or months. And then it's going to be continuation for these markets. You zoom out on a Bitcoin chart, whether we can fall to the lower 40s and then continuation. But that's not even happening yet. But it really is, this daily chart. It's going to be very interesting to see Bitcoin, if Bitcoin, because of events coming up in the next couple of days, can make its way through this area, start approaching the 200-day moving average. This is the bullish case. Break 64,000. All of a sudden, we're testing this upper trend line again. We're talking about a potential breakout to new all-time highs. This can go one way or another. I think it's just a really good idea with all the uncertainty and unknown, just to zoom in on these charts, get a sense of where we are, wait for confirmations one way or another. We have the resistance up here. We have this next area of support down here. If crypto is going to fall again, right? This is the lower 50s for Bitcoin. And we just kind of wait for it all, because eventually, no guarantees, but eventually, because this is historically what has happened every time, even in moments of just crazy consolidation, Bitcoin finally does break. It finally makes a move one way or the other. So all about patience. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, everybody. I'll continue just kind of giving updates on all of these different moving pieces of data, and I appreciate you cruising through. So hit the subscribe, hit the like, turn notifications on. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.